Good afternoon! Welcome to Bead with me. I'm Kay, your host from Fantastic Stars Beads. This show is a little show for inspiration, motivation, and whatever is trending here in the bead life here at Stars Beads. And it's Work It Wednesday. It's one of my favorite days of the week. It's oftentimes what I like to call What's on Your Wrist Wednesday, What's on Your Workspace, where I love to get a chance to see a little bit of your bead life. So if you're not part of our Star Special Stash group, you should head on over there and check out some inspiration from our community with the same addiction. So if you're catching this on the replay, please say hello, even on the replay. I always love knowing where you guys are coming in from, what you like to play with, how you're doing, and how your week is going. I think a lot of you guys might know how my week is going. Like, I'm just in recovery mode. I'm like an hour off right now completely. I'm thinking, oh my God, it's already time for a beading break. Although I've been on a beading binge for like night after night after night after night. And I think a lot of you guys got to join me. Have you guys recovered? I know the wallets probably haven't recovered yet. It has been quite the whirlwind. We are taking kind of a little time as we are recuperating, getting the processes started for the weekend market. So if you guys didn't know or haven't heard, we had the man in his van here for, so far, it's almost been about a week, and during that entire week, we were showing you things from all over the world, from wood to Java glass to shell, from the Philippines, beautiful handmade work from Egypt, and the list keeps going on, and we keep continuing to find more things that we didn't show. Even beautiful shell chandeliers and plant holders that, who knew? You never know what's going to be pulled out here at Stars Beads, and so that keeps the excitement going. That's kind of a little bit about our bead life here. And I thank you guys always for joining me. It's always exciting and always something different. And I keep pulling out new things. In fact, we were trying to have we had to extend the weekend market to Monday so that we could fit in those cabochons that we have been teasing you guys with for like days, right? We're like, oh, we're going to do the cabochon claw. We're doing the cabochon claw. And then we ran out of time. So let me say a quick hello. Let me see who's catching us live here today. I know a lot of people. I know it's during the weekday, and you guys catch me on the replay. But I always love saying hello. Hello, Miss Elaine and Jessica and Julie and Sharon and Janelda and Elaine. Let's see. What's in your ears, on your wrist, or on the work tape? You're right, Sharon. So here I'm just wearing a little bit of fun here today, and then seeing what's on my workspace. You guys don't even know. I found more cabochons. Like, we didn't do Larimar. There was like a Larimar tray. There were so many trays. It was pretty overwhelming. Who was there over at the market? What did you guys think about it? I know we wanted drilled stones, and look. A Larimar tray with drilled stone. We missed it. So now I'm feeling guilty because we couldn't do it all. What do we do about that? And get this, look what else. I found even a tray of turquoise nuggets. Turquoise nuggets. Like, how does that even happen? It was insane. I felt like insane in the membrane. We were also going through old school songs all weekend long. It is an unbelievable weekend, and I continue to get a chance to play with Phil. In fact, we're giving Phil a little bit of time off. He went off with the hubby to do a little bit of kayaking, enjoying a little bit of the beach as they left me here to work. So I've been working on starting the processes of this weekend. So for those that are waiting and hanging out for those. You guys can be expecting it's going to take some time to for us to digest all the fun that we had in the last couple days. So hang tight. You might have been checking or seeing in your inboxes kind of the latest updates is we had at least the last warehouse sale for Friday Night Live. All of those invoices have been issued and out, so you guys can check those inboxes. We have those treasures ready for you to get on their way. We also had, we also had a caption contest. What do you guys think of that? I really love seeing all the different captions that you guys are coming up with. In fact, I was thinking that there was only going to be the picture in the Star Special Stash group, but it ended up you guys were doing captions for both our pictures. So you know what? We're going to be issuing 2 winners then. Okay, so we're not doing a Friday Night Live this week, but we will pop on Friday to announce some winners. We'll get a chance to see where we're at in the process, and I got to do that with Phil, you know. So make sure you get in your caption, okay? There's one on the main page. There's also one in the Star Special Stash group, so you can get in your chance to win something fun from the man. So that's another announcement, and then let's see. Oh, I had questions about cabochons, you know, since we were showing off cabochons. I know I didn't get to do a lot of project making because it was like a whole job in itself, as we know, to pet the beads, right? Like get them out, and then I had to pet them and drool on them for you guys before I presented them to you, before I have to say goodbye to them as I give them off to you guys, off to their new homes. So so that's a job in itself, along with playing with things, right? Who knows that, right? Don't think that's a bad thing. Sorting them, petting them, all of the things that's part of the beading break. You know, some of our beading days are just me petting beads and saying, hey, check out how beautiful these guys are, right? So thanks for all those that have already paid those invoices. You guys are quick. And make sure you do it, okay? Because if I have any open invoices for you, I am not giving you another invoice, okay? So if you have open invoices and you have not contacted me or communicated with me about anything, I try to be flexible, always understanding, you know, but communicate, okay? So if you guys have open invoices, I will not be fulfilling or, you know, getting you a next one, right? Because that's a lot of work to pull, and, you know, I never know what's happening, you know, unless you let me know, okay? So make sure you get those inboxes and get those invoices paid, okay? Because I know you're going to want anything that you ordered over this 4-day weekend. So if you happen to have any old ones going, or maybe you don't know, or, you know, check for them. You can even do a search in your email. So if you've never gotten one, look up Stars Beads. It should be coming through to you, okay? And yes, you still have till Friday for that caption contest, Janelda. So definitely get in there. You know, I was reading some of the captions to Phil and Jonah. We were kind of seeing the ones that we really like. Although, you know, we're not going to choose any permanent winners until Friday. But even Jonah threw one in there. I read all the captions, and then he's like, I'm going to come up with a caption. And he did, and we were so impressed. So, I don't know. I felt like he was kind of in the running, you know, and he came up with that all by himself. So check it out. Let's see. Invoices for the last sale are out already. No, Michelle. These are ones from the Suzanne warehouse that we had on the, what was it? On the 13th of May, maybe? So right before Phil came here. So double check. We are not talking about this past 4-day live. Okay? Definitely no invoices. It just ended on Monday. You know, so, and Tuesday, you know, we left it open until Tuesday, so technically the sale closed yesterday, okay, so this is like the first day that we are getting a chance to even start processing, seeing all the things that you guys have requested, you know, so technically you could probably still slide something in, okay, because I'm starting the process of getting through all the stuff. So if we have it, of course we're going to give it to you. Okay, so you can probably still slide something in. We try to be flexible. So to find those invoices, it should be in the messaging I think it's on Messenger. Okay, if you have problems finding it, I'll try to get in touch with you. Okay, you can try to put it into the comments or put a message in the Star Specialist Ask group saying, help, I can't figure it out. Okay, so I'll help you out. So don't worry, it's not about this weekend. This is if you are doing the Suzanne, it was the Suzanne Warehouse sale. Okay, so thanks for that. All right, so I pulled out a couple things to play around with today because since I had a few of you guys asking questions about cabochons and some ways to deal with them. So I kind of just pulled together some simple like wire wrapping. Would you guys want to do something like this today? Like I was pulling out some labradorite I was going to show you. Of course, we can do the quick and easy, you know, but I don't think we even need to show that. But I've got some glue-on bales. I'm going to go ahead and kind of show you a little bit about how to do that. Okay, so I'll have a little bit of a beading break here today, as well as all of those announcements. Okay, now wire wrapping cabochons aren't always the easiest. You know, you're dealing with a lot of wires, but you know, we're gonna make a quick one, you know, just so you guys can get the idea of kind of how to kind of put it together. Okay, I feel like I'm always like your gateway into jewelry. You know, I really love getting you guys started. You know, certainly there are amazing wire workers out there, wire weavers, you know, you guys can certainly get these, you know, pumped up and making them more gorgeous. But this is going to be today, I'm just going to get into the like nitty gritty because you know, it needs to be done by dinner or else it ain't happening in my world. So let's get started. Let's have a little bit of a beading break because I'm ready for it. You know, I've been writing down, looking at all of your comments and catching all your funny comments throughout the last couple of days. So I really love hanging out with you guys. You guys are so much fun, and we have such a great community. So you guys are comedians, I tell you. So I'll show you these a little up close. You know, and see if we can pull out just some ways to play with cabochons. Does that sound like a plan? So what's on my workspace? Cabochons. That's what's on my workspace. You want to do how to do an odd shape wrap? Well, I gotta start with something basic, right? I don't know that we had I guess it kind of is the same, right? So, I don't know. What do you guys, should I pull out? This was the turquoise. This was, look at this. Oh, okay, I'll give you a close-up look. That's the Larimar. But these are Larimar, and you didn't even have to wrap them because there's a hole. All right, those are sneak peeks because you know what? If we get through all of the invoicing and for this 4-day weekend and we can squeeze Phil, maybe we'll do a few more cabochons, okay? And then maybe he'll... but we got to get all those other things out first. Like, look at all these. Ruby. They were all sorts of different things. I really like the labradorite myself. There was also some amethyst. Maybe we do an amethyst because, you know, I love some purple. And, you know, I don't think we even got to amethyst. You guys want to do, like, a little amethyst oval? I know. Don't worry. I was looking for rounds for you, Michelle. But they tend to be oval. You know, the idea is kind of the same. Let's do an oval. That's what I was messing with. Of course, you know, I did a teardrop too. You know, but again, the idea is pretty similar. You know, rectangle, because you're going to kind of form around it. Okay, the turquoise, I'm not doing turquoise because it's just a rough drill. I want to kind of show kind of this other technique for today. So you guys, here's what we're kind of looking at. Just something simple. You can certainly make things fancier and really fancy, but I'm going just clean. And we didn't get to the kyanite either. You're right. Keep naming them. Because maybe if we go crazy and we can like twist Phil's arm, maybe maybe it will run another cabochon night. Would you guys want another cabochon night? All right, I think I want to do amethyst. Can I do amethyst so I can have a purple one? Of course we can. I'm allowed to do that, right? Let's see. Do I want to do a big one? So let's do one of these babies. I really like this big one. It's kind of translucent. It's kind of thick on the sides. You know, that's kind of like what we have here. But I really like, I think I like large and in charge. You know how that goes. Okay. All right, I'm going to zoom in. So one of the first, like, the easiest ways to get these into something is something called a glue-on bail. So these are kind of something that looks like this. There's the bail. And so, of course, you can put this on any area of it. But you're literally going to put some glue on here. And actually, you could probably put resin too, and just pop that baby on there, just like that, or like this, or like this. Okay, you just glue it on there, and ta-da! You got yourself a little pendant. Okay, quick and easy. All right, that demo's done. Actually, we have some ones here too that if you don't want to necessarily be a pendant and you're making like a little charm, these ones are a little bit more charm-like. This is something you guys are interested in. I think you could probably DM me and add that to your order, okay? I think these are like $1.50 a piece for the large ones, and well, I'll make them both $1 for these smaller ones in gold and silver, okay? So send a message over to me, and I'll try to get some bales added to your order if you want those, okay? I have a few, not a ton. I could probably always get more, but I was in the labradorite tray because it was sitting there. But now I found the amethyst tray, so I think I'm going to play with that next. All right, and I tend to be a silver girl, but I guess I'll let you guys choose. You guys think I should do, let's see, what are my choices? I'll pull my choices out for you. Let's start there. I'm going to be using 20 and 26 gauge wire today to mess around. So, and I always try to make this show for you guys. So this is my interactive part. So talk with me and hang out with me and pick a color. Pick a color. What color should I wire wrap this cabochon purple amethyst, dogtooth amethyst, and silver and I hope I have enough silver, copper, bronze, or gold. Again, we're using 20 gauge. I've got some Softflex craft wire. You can find that available on the website in the gold and silver, of course. And get started on your own. So as you guys are deciding, you can grab some tools. Some of the things that you'll want to have on hand today will be a nylon jaw, a chain nose, kind of a narrow tip so you can kind of get into those tight spots, some nippers, maybe a bail making plier just to help with the bail part, and a round nose pair of pliers. Okay, and today I'm going to be using round wire. Yes, you can most certainly use square. Oftentimes, you know, that's a really good way to go. But I also want you to know that you can use round, because that's oftentimes what we have at home. So you can use bezel wire. You can use a lot of different wires, okay? But a lot of us have round, and I think that we oftentimes think that we can't use it to do this particular style of project. But you can see you can. You totally can, okay? All right, let me take a look. I think you guys are. Are you guys silver people? You look like some silver people. Let's see. Went too far up. Copper, vintage bronze, silver, copper, silver, 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 bronze, silver. Sounds like silver, but you guys kind of like the bronze too, which is kind of a nice earthy look. All right, I'm going to hopefully see. I think I have enough of this. All right, we're going to take some strips. I'm going to you know, I'm bad sometimes on approximation. Like, I take a strip. I tend to like 8 inches. So I'm going to say about 8 to 10 inches. And like I said, I'm just kind of pulling off a little bit. And we want to take 3 sections, or three pieces of it is what I'm going to use today. You can get crazy and go 4, just like you can get crazy and get all fancy. Okay, but we're doing quick, easy, and done by dinner. Okay. So we're going to take 3 pieces. Now, Michelle, you did some beautiful work. I saw you threw into the stash group some of the work you do with cabochons. That was beautiful. If you guys have any more inspirations of working with cabochons, that would be lovely to get our group inspired. Kind of see your work and get an idea. You guys are some amazing artists out there. All right, so I am going to take the nylon jaws. I'm going to straighten these out just a smidgen. Okay. You know, oftentimes when you start playing with things, it's just you just kind of go with it and try some things, okay? Of course, there are, yes, we can make these exact. Yes, we can mark all the, you know, sometimes people will mark with Sharpie where they are going to make certain bends and stuff. Here, we're just going to go with the flow, right? So I'm going to just straighten these out just a little. It work hardens the wire just a little bit, okay? They don't need to be perfectly straight, but it helps. At least we're going to at least try to find the centers and mess around, okay? So I'm using 20 gauge and 26 gauge today. We're going to see how this one comes out. Okay, let's see, where's my 20? Where's my 26 gauge? Oh, where's my, oh, here it is, 26 gauge. Okay, so I'm going to take lots of little pieces of this, okay? So we're going to start off with, we only need, you know, very, very little of this for right now. So we're going to do the bottom. Oh, did you post a cab with a wire prong setting? I'll have to check that out, Jessica. Thank you. Thank you, thank you. So join our group and you can see what they're talking about before I do. Hard to keep up with you guys. Hard to keep up with myself at the moment. I mean, you know what I mean? You guys have those days. You can hit the like sign if you're feeling that this week. Okay, so you can see I'm trying to kind of get a center. I'm looking at where that center is. I'm taking the 26 gauge wire and we've done a little bit of binding together. So I'm going to do at least normally I start with 3, but we're doing cabochons, so I want this to be a little bit wider. Oh, great, Jessica. That would be really nice. Okay, so I'm just taking all 3 pieces, okay, and I'm laying them flat and just binding them, okay? And I'm going to bind it at least, I don't know, until I feel happy about it. I say at least 5 times. You know, you just get a little bit of, oh, sorry guys. Try to work on that sound. All right, not working, sorry. Hopefully, maybe we'll see this better on here. Okay, so what we're creating right here is kind of the center bind. Technically, you could get fancy with this, you know. We're just keeping it simple today. We're gate weighting you into cabochon wrapping. Okay, and what I want to do is I want to cut these ends so that they're on the same side, and I will have those pointed toward the inside. Okay, so cutting those close. And it may slide around a little bit. You can see I'm going to push down the edges. Flatten it a little bit. Okay. Kind of get my start, okay? keep all this craziness together. It's only getting worse here in just a minute. Okay. All right, there's the start. Now, the next thing I find is if you have double-sided tape, that can be helpful to keep your cabochon in place while you are choosing how you're going to wrap this thing, okay? So, but right now I'm going to just hold it with my finger, but that's kind of a little tip you could probably use, okay? And you can start a little bit of the bend. Hey, Christy, how's your week going? I know we all got so much life going on, right? So I'm just kind of starting the bend just to just make my life a little bit easier, okay? So literally, I'm going to push down on this cabochon. I'm holding with my thumb as I'm going to do kind of a light idea of kind of what I'm working with here, okay? So you'll see I'm going to kind of just bend this like it's the bezel, okay? I'm trying to keep this to the center. We'll see how well we do, okay? And like I said, it's oftentimes easier with, did this just slide? With double-sided tape if you want to lay down your cabochon. I think I just slid this some. And if you need to start again, it's wire, okay? So you have time. It's okay that these aren't like perfectly together because we're going to be spreading them apart actually, okay? In fact, I think I'm going to go downward so we can maybe see a little bit easier. So holding this up top and then bending these wires to kind of start your frame, okay? So we try to see as much as in the center we can get, okay? And then it can be adjusted, okay? So I'm thinking right about there. I'm going to do a little psh, okay? And then I'm going to do the same thing to the other side. Now in this case, I generally tend to feel like I'd rather have it just a smidgen bigger because if you tighten this up and then sometimes your cabochon doesn't fit in there, okay? So, but yeah, you can still make some adjustability when you make it just a smidgen. So you'll see I'm just a little bit above, okay? So now we've kind of created this idea, right? So if it holds in there, then you've done pretty well. Dun, da, da, da. There's step one. Okay, and then I'm going to make these just a little bit more pronounced just to keep those wires in their right space. So we want to try to keep them in their right order. Okay, and we'll do the same on this side. Okay, I'm just going to make like a slightly sharper bend so I can kind of know where that top is, right? So you see that? We've got like a fish now. Okay, and you can sit there and double check, make sure that's everything that you want it to be, and you can tell when we switch it in there. There we go. That's the start. Okay. Now we're going to take some more 26 gauge wire, and because this is kind of a long oval, you'll see here. Well, you could do it either way. Okay, so in this one, I just bind it along the bottom and then came along the top for this one so that I could see more of the piece. In this one, you can see that I've binded here on both sides. Okay. Oh, go check it out. Jessica just posted us some inspiration. Thank you. Okay, so you can certainly go either way. I think I'm going to go ahead and do those side bindings because I kind of like that look. Okay, so we're going to take a couple more pieces of these right here, and we're going to bind these together. Okay, that helps keep all your things in place a little bit. And what it'll do is it's going to give you kind of some points in where you can start your bends. Okay, and this one I'll probably do, I don't know, 5 or so. Just as long as it's kind of the same on both. And then remember that we want to try to cut these onto the inside wire. Okay. Squeeze. And we'll be able to move these a little bit if they get out of place. So don't you get out of place because they're not where you demand them to be at the start, okay? They need a little training. And it will it will kind of get secured as we finish what we're doing here. Okay, so I just cut those pieces off. I'm pushing these little ends and tightening that up. Okay, so we've got a bind there. You can kind of see how that's going to look. So well, if you want, you can kind of move it into place. I'm kind of just doing kind of about the middle. Take another piece, we'll do the other side. Oh, Janelda's already checked you out. Guys, little multitaskers. Like, how many windows do you guys have open on your on your phones? My mom sometimes doesn't know how to close programs, so, you know, her phone is working really hard because she's got 50 tabs open. Okay, I think I did about 5 there. Okay. Cut. Cut. Okay, now we've done a bind there. And let's go ahead and also bind the top too. Okay, so again, that is keeping these kind of separated for us. Okay, and then we're going to do the same thing up here. Okay, and you can kind of spread these if you want, or just a smidgen, just to kind of see what you got going. Okay, we like that. Okay, so you can kind of take a look each time if you want. You can kind of grab it and see what we're doing here. Okay. All right, this time on the 26 gauge, I am going to take a bit more on here, just because we're going to do some extra wrapping. So I'm actually going to take probably at least a foot. Okay, and on this piece of long 26 gauge, I'm going to have a bit of a tail down here, so it allows me some working room. And then I need a lot of it up top because that's what I'm actually going to use for part of the bail. Okay, so what we're going to do is right where these are kind of connect, where it looks like it should naturally connect, we're going to start wiring all these together. I'm just going to wire kind of fairly tight, and then we'll be able to separate those pieces again so we can kind of see. I'm going to lay it flat before I do too many more wraps. Okay. That way you don't have a bunch of crossing wires right here at the around your piece. Okay. All right, now I'm going to wrap a little bit up here. Okay, keep those binded. Squeeze, flatten. Okay, now we want to kind of find, I tend to go after the middle 2 wires, so I'm kind of bending the outside 2 out, doing the same thing on the other side, kind of finding what that middle was. Separating those and then finding those middle 2 wires. Okay, and I'm going to squeeze those ones together a little bit. This is my extra wire that I'm going to start a bail with. Where'd those middle 2 go? Okay, so we're going to pinch those middle two wires, and then when I come around here, okay, I'm not going to wrap around anymore. Maybe I'll do one more. Okay, but then I'm going to come around the back. Okay, like that. So here's the back. And I'm going to start wrapping these two together, if you can see that. I suppose you could probably take a separate piece of wire to do this part if you wanted. But there's always more probably than one way to do something, right? Here is a K way to do something. Okay, so I'm taking these 2 wires and getting them binded across. Now you could certainly do a more interesting weave pattern. I am going to go with I'm just going to wrap it to death pattern. Okay, so we're going to keep going. Now this is however long you want it is going to determine the size of your veil, okay, in this case. So you'll have more. They tend to sometimes twist, but I'm more concerned about right where I'm wrapping, keeping those flat side by side as I am wrapping. This is that nice therapeutic part of things, right? Like I said, you can bend these a little bit out of the way to help yourself out a little bit. And you'll see that I keep pushing down to keep these tight, okay? And I'm trying to be fast, but I hope you guys can see what I'm doing. I'm trying to stay centered here for you. Keep this tight, and you'll see I'm holding every bit of this, okay? And isn't that pretty? I like this, the mummy wrap. Just wind it and bind it, baby. And once these are kind of staying parallel, it's a heck of a lot easier. Okay, and I'm pulling as I'm twisting. And you know that foot of wire gets eaten up pretty fast. I don't know how big I want this bail. I'm just kind of going. I was going to go until my wire ran out, but I think that might be like a big bail. So maybe I'll stop right now. I think that's going to be enough. Part of the fun, you just let it flow. When you think, oh, that looks a little long, it probably is. Trust your gut. Okay. All right. So we're going to clip that. We got a nice, decent length there. I feel like it's at least maybe about 1.5 inches if I'm guesstimating. Okay. So this is kind of where we're at. Ba-da-da-da. Okay. So we've got this. So we should be able to slide this pendant into, or this cabochon, I'm sorry, into place. See how that just, look. It almost feels like it's almost done, right? There is not a relative length, but because the bail can be kind of any size that you want. Okay, so I'm just kind of going with the guesstimate. I know, I'm sorry, I'm not as exact, but I feel like a lot of times our jewelry is a little bit like that. I mean, maybe some of you guys are way more calculated than I am, so hopefully this gets you out of your box of maybe it doesn't always have to be that way. Okay. All right. So now this is where I'm going to take my bail making pliers. I'm actually going to bend this. Well, maybe I want to, oh, I guess I want to deal with this. Maybe I'll deal with the pendant first. Okay, so what we're going to do is we want to encase this in place. Okay, I tend to start off with the back. I'm kind of, now you'll see that we have our 3 wires. Okay, so our idea is we're going to pull these wires onto the back and to the front. Okay, you can choose to use pliers, you can choose to work with your fingers, whatever suits your fancy. Okay, I know that sometimes we get really hung up on, you know, it's got to be exact in all these certain ways. Okay, but don't be hard on yourself, especially on your first one. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to just take this with my finger. Okay, I'm going to kind of separate, because these have been nice and binded right now, so sometimes it's hard to get your plier in there, so sometimes I just start with my finger. Okay, and what I'm going to do is I want to kind of bend right there. Okay, and now I'm a little too tight, so I'm gonna try to see if I can get this in there and make this look like I know what I'm doing. Okay, so you see I'm just doing a little push. Okay, then I'm gonna go to this side, and I'm actually gonna push this outward. I pushed in. Okay, so we can set it in there, and we're gonna do the same thing to the other side. So I'm just taking that, kind of separating a little bit so I can get my plier in there. Okay, and now technically this is my back side of my pendant, so it doesn't technically have to be, you know, but that's kind of what we're going for, right? And then I'm going to kind of do the same thing here. Okay, so I'm gonna, now technically you can really bend this anywhere. Okay, I'm just choosing to kind of go close to my bindings. I think it gives kind of a nice sharper bend. Okay, and the idea is that this is going to hold and frame that beautiful little cabochon of ours. Okay, so, and you'll see I kind of stick my finger in there so that I can not be grabbing the other wires. Oops, sorry, I'm out of frame. Try. Okay, so that's kind of what we're looking at. And when I do that, I tend to push in. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to push this out before I put the cabochon in, because sometimes your cabochons can be kind of thick. Okay, so that's kind of what we're looking at. Okay, and then we're going to set that baby in there. Okay, hopefully. And this is where you may have to pull these wires up, okay, because now we're making the sides. Okay, and if you have a thick one, it's okay, because we're going to take these and we're going to be bringing them up and around. Okay, so right now we just need to get that back side in, and that's why I say I push those ones out a little so that you could sometimes mess with this a little bit less. I'm trying to pull this up a little bit more. Okay, so it fits in there. Okay, and then and with my fingers, I'm just gonna pull this up and over, and pull this one up and over, pull this one up and over, and that sometimes helps push the back. And you can take this and do this with pliers, okay? Okay, but it's important that we try to get those so that it's secure, right? We don't want to lose this cabochon, okay? Right now I'm starting with my fingers, but then you can take your pliers and do a little pinch, okay? But sometimes it's easy to mark up your piece by accident, okay? So, and we want to try to avoid doing that. Okay, and so what we're creating is a cage around the beads, so, or around the cabochon, so that we don't lose it. Okay, and like I said, going with the flow. in here. So this, if you want to kind of take your plier to it, you can. You want to be kind of real gentle. Okay, and that's why I'm kind of using my narrow tip, because I don't want to scratch the stone. Okay, that's why I kind of start with my fingers first and just do a pull. Okay, and there you can start feeling like, look at that, we can already, you know. And I kind of like keeping these. I mean, you want to bring them in because you want to secure it, but at the same time, for me, I kind of don't want to see it, right? But because we're not metalsmithing here, and we're using round wire, this is what happens. Okay, and so that's why I like these little binds on the side, because then that's what's helping you make those bends, versus when we did this one here, we make the bend, okay, but there's only up here binding it, okay, but so that's why I wrapped down a little bit further so I can feel that this piece was a little bit more secure. All right, so boom. Now we're kind of almost done, okay? So that's kind of just a clean way to do it. We're going to go ahead and let me get back up to all of our crazy. Now we've got ourselves like, I don't know, a pineapple here. Okay, so I'm going to push this forward kind of right at that bend. Right at where it all intersects. I'm going to take my bail making pliers and let's make a bail. All right, so I'm putting this right around, and you'll see coming around here. You guys liking the project so far? How we doing? Okay, so you can see how that looks. See where it hits? Yeah, well, that was like a perfect amount. You'd think I kind of knew what I was doing. Okay, so now we kind of just have all these crazy extra wires, and literally you can do anything you want with them. Here I just went crazy wrapping, had a little doodad, then I spiraled some on the back. This one I just went crazy wrap around the top. Okay, and then I took some of the wires and just curled them. Here we did some swirling on the top, and now it's your deal. So here, see, I only wrapped a little bit and tried to keep some clean. See how that looks? You know, to each their own, okay? So, let's see. So I'm going to take this a little bit, and I'm going to kind of bend this out so I can get this in. Now, this is the reason we kept this on here. Okay, we're going to take that little piece that was attached to our base. So this was all one wire here. Okay, so we wrapped this, we wrapped up through the bail, and then this was the other end. Okay, and this is what is going to secure our bail in place. And I feel like these are all the basic steps for a lot of the cabochon wraps that you'll see, you know, other tutorials online. Okay, this is like the basic. Like I said, this is your gateway. Okay, and so now I'm going to take this and I'm going to wrap it to death. Okay, because a lot of this could be hidden by the thicker wire if you choose to, but you know, we're binding this, and I'm just going to go until my wire ends. Okay, and I want it to be on the back side, so I think I'm going to cut it now, and then we'll try to tuck that into place. Tuck it in. Let's see if I can. And at least 26 gauge is not so thick to work with. Okay, and again, you can always take these extra wires and do something fun. All right, now we've got these crazy 2 wires here, these 2 wires, and like I said, we kind of just got to get rid of them in however way you want to get rid of them, right? So in this case, let's do something pretty, you know, simple, I guess. You can certainly do a lot of swirls. Let's keep it small, huh? Let's keep it really small. Because you could make it reversible at this point. Okay, so if you like this side better, I mean, it's a flat side, but you could do something extra with these. I think I'm just going to curl these out. Okay, so I'm going to separate them like this. Take a round nose, and we're going to just swirl these up. This can look decorative too. So there, I've got one little loopy there. Maybe I'll curl this loop this other way. Again, this is all kind of free form and kind of, and this is probably why you see a lot of little swirlies on stuff, because you got to end it or hook it onto itself. Okay. I'm just making little ones. Okay. What size wire for the cage? We're using 20 gauge and 26 gauge today, just 2 sizes. Okay. Pulling these a little bit. Trying to make them a little bit more even looking. All right, so now this is where you get to decide what you want to do, shall we? So sometimes I just take these, and I'll take the thick ones and I'll wrap them. But you can also certainly, you could put beads on this. We could put like a little do a wire piece on one of them. Okay, so I think I'm going to take one. I kind of liked when I did this little doodad along the top. So let's take some wire and start making some curls here. You can just make a lot of curls. That keeps it easy too. You could certainly get wide like this. Maybe we want to, you can look at how it looks. Again, I kind of like clean, you know. A clean look. Yeah, I think I want a clean. We're just gonna do some spirals. Just try to keep it fairly simple, okay? We're trying to not make life hard. So if you get to something you don't like, just undo it a little bit. You still got time. Okay, so say, oh, I didn't like what I did there. We're gonna not do that. That's what it'll be, playing around with it. I think we're going to do some spirals. Okay, so let's cut these down just a smidgen. So I'm going to do one that's like this size. Let's see how much that wires to. So we're going to spiral, starting at the very, very end. And then take the chain nose, and we can continue that spiral. So if you like it simple and plain, you could certainly just wire wrap the top with these thick ones around that base. We'll go for spirals today. And this sometimes it's nice because the spirals kind of cover that area. Okay, and then we'll do another one. This one, maybe we'll make it a little bit longer since we got that one up there. So I'm going to cut it here and start spiraling and see what happens there. Alright, so if you kind of didn't know what you wanted to do with cabochons, hopefully this kind of gave you a few ideas to try one. And that's what I like to try to do, is, you know, not make it so hard that we are totally deterred from trying it ourselves. Okay? I want you guys to create. That's the goal of the show, is to inspire you to want to continue creating stuff, you know. All right, so we get spiral happy. I think I'm going to try to tuck that one under there. See, setting it into place. Okay, and then should we do some more spiralies? Just start seeing where they go. Now this, you can see I can almost tuck it under, so I might want to leave a little room. So I may stop the spiral so see it, so it can kind of hide it. Or we can just leave it like that, and we can almost just wrap it like this if we want. See? And then maybe do a spiral to finish her off. Or we can cut it and tuck it. Let's cut it and tuck it. Yeah, then like we're done, right? So we can cut these and kind of tuck those right under those spirals and hide it. Just like that. Boom. Okay, and get this kind of tucked into place. Where does it end? Okay, and voila, we got ourselves a little cabochon pendant. Okay, you can feel that ain't going anywhere. Shaking it up. You want to feel like I'm moving around. See how we did here. It's not going anywhere. It's surprising too, because sometimes it feels like it's loosey-goosey in there for a little bit, but then once you start getting these pieces into place, it will fall into place for you. So here are just a few little doodad wraps. You can take a look and try one yourself. Okay, so when you guys get yours cabochons in, I want to see what you guys do with them. So if you guys like today's project, make sure help us out in terms of our algorithms here on Facebook. It's a free support. All you got to do is like, share this post, comment on this post. All of those things are super helpful, and it's a free way to support any of your small businesses that you guys might watch here on Facebook. So I always thank you for coming to play with me a little bit. All right, you can do this. So let's see that those cabochon works, and you put enough in there. Like, who loves cabochons? Who thinks we should have another cabochon night? Do we need like another cabochon day? All right, here it is. There's what it looks like. Doo-doo. I got myself a purple pendant. All right. Who knows? Maybe this is going to go to a lucky winner for our caption contest. I don't even know. We'll see what Phil thinks about it. Maybe he's going to keep them. All right, simple and easy. You know, like I said, you can certainly get crazy, certainly get a lot more complicated, okay? But I'm trying to be done by dinner. So, all right, happy Wednesday, everyone. We will see you back at it. We're going to pop on Friday, okay, because we want to announce our caption contest winners, and you never know what we pop up with, okay? So, so check us out. Join the Star Special Stash group. If you want to maybe squeeze some things in, you might still be able to catch those replays. Okay, and send me a separate DM, okay, because the sale is officially closed. But you never know. Slide me a message with some things that you'd like, and we'll see what we can do for you. All right, have a fantastic rest of your day. We'll be at it, and we'll catch what Phil's been doing since we've seen him last. All right, have a good one, and we'll see you in just a couple days on the next one. Thanks so much.